Excellence lives here in northeastern Indiana. It's reflected in more than 200 nationally recognized degrees. It drives our Division I sports. It's alive in our campus life. Excellence has a name, IPFW. Around our campus, around the country, around the world. Excellence lives here. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
This is Arts Weekly. Arts Weekly is presented by the College of Visual and Performing Arts at IPFW, offering degrees in fine arts, music, theater, and visual communication and design. IPFW, the energy of the arts.
Thank you for tuning in to Arts Weekly. I'm Melinda Haines, and I'll be joined later by Leslie Horman of Fort Wayne Youth Theater. But today we're going to start our show with John O'Connell, the Interim Dean of the IPFW College of Visual and Performing Arts. He's here to tell us about some of this spring's exciting art and performance offerings on campus, including an Indian performance series and a slew of concerts by faculty and students. Welcome, John.
Thanks for having me.
Well, we've got a lot to discuss in a short period of time. You want to talk about how this school year has started off with a new chancellor. You know, what can you tell us about Dr. Vicky Carwein, where she comes from, how she got here?
Dr. Vicky Carwein is from the University of Washington statewide university system. She was the chancellor of a smaller university in the system that didn't actually have much of an arts program. So she's thrilled to come to IPFW that has such an active arts program. And she comes from an art background herself, a music background.
So I think that's bodes well for the College of Visual and Performing Arts, because she is a musician herself.
She is a piano player. She actually started out in college in music, and then decided that she wanted to pay her bills and went into nursing. She still loves music. She is, like I said, an accomplished piano player. She studied voice, and she tells me that she studied voice until someone told her she shouldn't study voice any longer.
Well, it'll be great to see her at our concerts. Yeah. Well, another one of the things that you're working on as dean is the accreditations that we have at the college. Can you tell me about what those are and what they mean
accreditation
for us?
is important to all universities and all colleges to have departments accredited by their national standard bodies, if you will, that sort of set standards and guidelines at a national level. And we ask in the accreditation process to find out whether or not departments meet national standards. And last year, for the first time, the theater department received the accreditation from the National Association of Schools of Theater, which was a rigorous 3-year process. But that was the first ever accreditation for them. The music department is accredited through NASM, the National Association of Schools of Art of Music, and they are accredited and are going up for reaccreditation next year. And then our two art departments, Fine Arts and Visual Communication and Design, are undergoing a rigorous self-study for their first ever NASM, National Association of Schools of Art and Design, NASED, next April, a year from now. But that process of a self-study is about a 2-year process. We're doing it in 1 year.
Wow.
And we found out late in the process that we also have to include the Department of Interior Design, which is in a different college under a different department, and that's a part of the NASED process. So it's kind of daunting to take 3 departments that are managed under 3 different chairs in 2 different colleges and put a self-study together for 1 accreditation visit has been daunting and challenging. But
it's necessary. Those accreditations really mean a lot for the academic program.
Yeah, they mean a lot for the academic program, but they really mean a lot for the university, because the university has to also be accredited by North Central, which is the accrediting body for our university. And the more departments that we have accredited by their own disciplines just buoys us up through the accreditation process as a university. So when I arrived 6 years ago, I was told in no uncertain terms by Susan Hanna, the then Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs, that get it done. If you can get accreditation, you should be going after it. And so I did, and we received it last year.
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Now I want to move into some of the events that we have coming up, in particular the Indian Performance Series that we started at IPFW.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
I'm excited about that. Well, just before Chuck O'Connor left last spring, our last dean, he started a relationship with some influential members of the Indian community here in Fort Wayne, with the idea that we would bring some Indian cultural events to campus in a kind of collaboration or collaborative effort. Well, I picked up that baton, if you will, in July with some members of the community, and we established the Indian Performance Series, which will now be an ongoing series on campus. Our first event was a dance company from India that was here in October, I think they were here. Huge turnout, big, incredible turnout, and a very large collaboration on our part, because we had to take a music concert hall, Reinhardt Music Center, and turn it into a theater. So I actually produced that for them, because it was more than they ever knew they were getting, you know.
But now we're having some musicians.
Yeah, now we're having some musicians in a concert hall, which is where they belong.
Yes.
Not dancers. And yes, we're having two Indian musicians, internationally known, Grammy Award-winning musicians, and they play traditional Indian instruments. Sharma and Hussain, two gentlemen from India, are coming on Sunday, April 14th. And we have established, or we haven't, the Indian community has established an organization called Shruti, S-H-R-U-T-I. They've established a non-profit organization that will be the collaborative body with the College of Visual and Performing Arts in this ongoing series. So they are sort of helping me find talent, and so they found these two musicians, and we're bringing them to, they're actually going to be on an American tour, so we're part of their American tour. They're out of their agents are in New York City.
Well, and they are just part of a very busy spring concert and performance series anyway at IPFW. So what are the highlights of what's coming up?
Highlights?
Yeah.
Well, that's putting me on the spot, because someone's going to be not happy if I don't, well, there's, which we'll talk about in a minute. We have Oliver opening in 2 weeks, the Department of Theater. They have another production coming up called Orlando in April at the Williams Theater. The music department has several jazz events coming up. The wind ensemble's playing. The opera ensemble's doing Mozart, the Magic Flute in April. So the music department has a lot of things going on. I'm particularly excited about the jazz ensemble. Will be performing with the new Singing Dons at Sweetwater's Theater. Sweetwater has a great concert theater, and in April they're going to be performing there. And then we have our two senior exhibits. Fine Arts Senior Exhibition will be in April in the Visual Arts Building or Gallery, and then the Department of Visual Communication and Design, their Senior BFA exhibition will be in April down in the library. And that's always a huge exhibition. It's juried. They're both juried as well.
Very full schedule. Well,
yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing the IPFW Art and Performance Spring schedule with us. While we get ready for our next segment, please take a minute to view our performance calendar of what's coming up in our area. You also can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We'll be right back with Leslie Horman from Fort Wayne Youth Theater, who will join us to talk about Oliver.